Alright, so we said in our last video that in this particular video we are going to be talking about immediate inference. But first of all, what is immediate inference? Immediate inference is just the process of inferring a proposition from another proposition without any intermediate proposition or additional logic rules. And there are three different types of immediate inference that we are going to be discussing in this video: conversion, obversion, and contraposition. What we are trying to say with all of this is that there is a way that we can infer a proposition from all these standard form categorical proposition in such a way that as long as the A proposition is valid, what we can infer from it will also be valid. So there are three different ways in which we can carry out these inferences, and that is what we meant by conversion, obversion, and contraposition. However, there are different rules and guidelines, or there are different rules and procedure guiding the three different types of immediate inferences that we'll be talking about. So the first one is conversion. How do we do conversion? A conversion is done by interchanging the subject term and the predicate term. So for conversion, you interchange the subject term and the predicate term. Let's say we have a proposition: all students are humans. All students are humans. A proposition: all students are humans. And conversion says that what we interchange the subject term and the predicate term. On a normal day, we are supposed to bring the subject predicate term, which is humans, to the subject term, which is where we have the students. So it's supposed to be all humans are students. But there is a limitation to this. If all students are humans, does that mean all humans are students? Of course, we are going to say no. So we say that what in conversion for a proposition, you change the quantity from universal to particular, that is from all to some. So we say conversion for a proposition is only valid by limitation. Conversion for a proposition is only valid by limitation. So conversion for a proposition is only valid by limitation, because if all students are humans, can we now infer that all humans are students? Of course no. But if all students are humans, definitely we can infer that what all some humans are students. Then for a proposition, no men are women, for instance. So conversion says that what you interchange the subject term and the predicate term. So we say no women are men. So that means conversion for a proposition is generally valid. So no men are women, we can infer that what no women are men using the rule of conversion. So I proposition: some students are learners. Conversion says that what we interchange the subject term and the predicate term. So we are going to be having some learners are students. So if we can infer that, if we have some students are learners, we can infer that what some learners are students. Then O proposition: some girls are not good people. Of course, it will be somehow to say that what some girls are not good people. Going by the rule of conversion, we can easily say that what some good people are not girls. However, that becomes very awkward if we change the proposition to something that it is much more technical. Let's say we have something like some girls are not lesbian. Some girls are not lesbian. Is it possible if we have some girls are not lesbian? Does that mean we can infer that some lesbians are not girls? Of course not, because for you to even be a lesbian, you must be a girl. So some girls are not lesbian. That doesn't mean that we can infer that what some lesbians are not girls. So we say conversion for O proposition is generally not valid. So the point I'm trying to make is that conversion, you interchange the subject term and the predicate term, but for a proposition, conversion is only valid by limitation. So you bring the quantity from universal to particular, that is from all to some. Then conversion for E proposition is generally valid. You interchange the subject term and the predicate term. Conversion for I proposition is also generally valid, while conversion for O proposition is generally invalid. That is not valid. So let's go to obversion. So what is the rule for obversion? Obversion states that what you change the quality and replace the predicate with its complement. What is a complement? A complement is just a group of things that does not belong to a particular class. Let's say, for instance, we have books. Oh, sorry. Let's say we have learners. The complement of learners is just the attribute of everything, or a group of everything that does not belong to this particular class, learners. So we say that's what non-learner. Non-learners. So the complement of learners is what? Non-learners. The complement of boys is non-boys. So to get the complement of a thing, if there is no none there, that is, if you have just boys, you include the none and put non-boys. But if the none is already there, non-boys, then you want to get the complement, you remove the none and leave it as what? Boys. So obversion states that you change the quality, that is, if it is universal, the quality, if it is affirmative, you bring it to negative, and if it is negative, you take it to what? Affirmative. So you change the quality and replace the predicate with its complement. So let's see, we have a proposition. All teachers are humans. So obversion says that what you change the quality, that is, this is universal affirmative. If you are changing it to universal negative, that is, we are changing the quality from affirmative to negative. From universal affirmative, it will become universal negative. And universal negative proposition begins with no. So no teachers are. And it says that what you change the complement, you change the predicate to its complement. That is, if the humans are there, you put none. If the none is already there before, you remove it and put what we are going to have. So all teachers are humans. We can infer that what no teachers are non-humans. No teachers are non-humans. So what this statement is just saying is that if we have all teachers are humans, then we can infer that what no teachers are non-humans. Then E proposition. No men are women. Don't forget, we are changing the quality from universal negative now to universal affirmative. And universal affirmative proposition begins with all. All men are. Then it says replace the complement of replace the predicate with its complement. So it's going to be non-woman. Non-woman. So I proposition, some boys are rich people. So if we change the quality of some boys are rich people, we are going to be having what? Some from particular affirmative now is going to come to particular negative. Some boys are not, that is from particular affirmative, we are bringing it to particular negative, that is are will become are not. Then the rich people, which is the predicate, its complement is just we adding none. So it's going to be some boys are not non-rich people. Then the last one, which is O proposition, we have some girls are not lesbians. Then it will become some. Don't forget, we have particular negative now. It's going to be particular affirmative. Some girls are. So from this are not, we bring it to are. Then the lesbian, we are going to add none to it. Are non-lesbians. So for obversion is generally valid for both A proposition, E, I, and O proposition. Obversion is generally valid for everything. So let's go to the last one, which is contraposition. Contraposition. The best way to do contraposition is contraposition is a little bit very technical because we are going to be using our knowledge of both conversion and obversion. So the formula that we use for that is what we call OCO. OCO. Let's say we have a proposition, which is all, let's say all humans are mortals. Then to get the contraposition of all humans and mortals, this is what we are doing, OCO. That is, we are doing obversion, conversion, and obversion again. Then the result is now going to be contraposition of all humans and mortals. In other words, we are going to do obversion for this one. Then we now do the conversion of the result that we get. Then we now do the obversion of the conversion of the result that we get from this obversion. Is that clear? Alright, so what I'm trying to say is that all humans are mortals. Then if we are doing obversion for this one, obversion says that change the quality and replace the complement, the predicate with its complement. So this one is going to be no, that is from universal affirmative to universal negative. Humans are, then the predicates, we put the complement, non-mortals. Then conversion says that we interchange the subject term and the predicate term. So we bring it to non-mortal no non-mortal are humans. That is, conversion state that just interchange the subject term and predicate term. So no humans are non-mortal, no non-mortal are human. Then we now do the obversion of that one. Obversion states that what you change the quality, then replace the predicate with its complement. So this one is going to be all, that is from universal negative to universal affirmative, all non-mortal are. Then the complement is, the complement of the predicate is going to be non-human. So that's the contraposition of all humans are mortals, all non-mortals are non-humans. So in contraposition, the formula that we use most times is called OCO. So you obverse, you converse, and you obverse again, then you now get your results. However, if you don't want to go through the process, or in a situation whereby they tell you that you should not use the formula of OCO, there's a way that you can do contraposition directly. So if you want to do contraposition directly, you are the rule is that you are replacing the complement of the subject with the predicate, then the complement of the predicate with the subject. That is, all humans are mortals. The complement of the predicate, which is mortals, you are bringing it to the subject. Then the complement of the subject, which is not humans, you are bringing it to the what? To the predicate. So if we do that, this is going to be our answer. All. Then the complement of the predicate, which is mortal before, is going to be non-mortal are. Then we bring the complement of the subject, which is human, which is non-human, we bring it to the predicate, non-human, which is still the same thing that we got using OCO. As you can see, all non-human, all non-mortals are non-human, all non-mortals are non-human. So in situation whereby they ask you not to use OCO, you can do it directly, and in the process of doing it directly, you know that bear it at the back of your mind that you are bringing in the complement of the subject to the predicate, and you're also bringing in the complement of this predicate to the subject. So that's the way it works. But however, there are some situations whereby they will ask you to do the OCO. As you can see, contraposition is generally valid for A proposition, but let's now see if there's going to be any problem with E proposition. E proposition is what? No men are women. So let's use the OCO. Obversion, you change the quality, universal, right? From universal negative, you change it to universal affirmative. So that means we are starting with all mortals. I'm sorry, all men are Then Obversion says it replaces the predicate with its complement. So women will become what? Non-women. Then conversion says that you interchange the subject term and the predicate term. As you can see, don't forget that conversion for a proposition, because in this particular place, this particular first conversion, it has already become a proposition from a proposition. And don't forget that conversion for a proposition is only valid by what? Limitation. That means this all will become some, from universal to particular. So we are going to be having some non-women are men, because conversion for a proposition is only valid by what? Limitation. And this is a proposition, we want to do conversion for it, so we did this by what? Limitation. Then O proposition, sorry, some non-women are men, we now want to do obversion for it. Don't forget that obversion states that what? You change the quality, that is from, is now particular affirmative now, then you change this to what? Particular negative. Then you replace the complement of the subject with its predicate. You replace the predicate with its complement. That's what Obversion says. So it's going to become some non-women are not non-men. Some non-women are not non-men. Some non-women are not non-men. So as you can see, we did OCO, obversion first, conversion. This was the conversion of the obversion here that brings us to what? Particular proposition, that is particular affirmative, because conversion is only valid for a proposition by limitation. Then we did the obversion again by changing the quality from are to are not, then from men to non-men. As obversion has already stated that what? You replace the predicate with its complement and you change the what? Quality. But if we did not go through the process of OCO, if you want to just do it directly, you know, contraposition states that what? You replace the complement of the predicate to the subject, then the complement of the subject to the predicate. That's the good for contraposition. But it was OCO that let us see that what? Contraposition is only valid for E proposition by limitation. So contraposition is only valid for E proposition by what? Limitation, because from universal negative it becomes particular negative. It's only valid by what? Limitation for E proposition. But if you do it directly, we are just going to be having no non-women are non-men, which is wrong. No non-women are non-men, which is wrong. So contraposition for E proposition is only valid by what? Limitation. So let's go to I proposition. I proposition, we have some girls are, let's say, lesbian. Some girls are lesbian, using OCO. Let's see if it is valid or invalid. But if you are supposed to do it directly, we are going to be having some non-lesbian are non-girls. So let's see if we are going to get the same thing after using what? OCO. So some girls are lesbian. The first obversion, we are changing the quality and replacing the predicate with its complement. So it's going to be some girls are not. That is, we are changing the quality from are to are not. Then the predicate is non-lesbian. So from this particular I proposition, and the obversion has already brought it to O proposition, we now want to do what? Conversion. But remember that conversion is generally invalid for O proposition, so we cannot do the conversion of this particular statement in this OCO. So we say that what? Contraposition is generally invalid for I proposition. Is generally invalid for what? The I proposition. And it is the rule of OCO that let us figure out that what? It's not going to be valid for I proposition. So let's go to the last one, which is O proposition. So O proposition, some lesbian are, sorry, some girls are not lesbians. So let's say OCO, but let's do the direct first. Then when we do the OCO, we'll not see if we are going to be getting the same answer. So some girls are not lesbian. So the direct is saying that you bring the complement of the predicate to the subject and the complement of the subject to the predicate. So we are going to be having some non-lesbians are not non-girls. So let's see if doing OCO is going to give us some non-lesbians are not non-girls. So the first one, obversion, we are changing the quality, so it's going to become some girls are. Then from are not, we are bringing it to are, that is, we are bringing it to particular affirmative. Then the predicate, we are putting the complement, which is the non-lesbian. Then conversion says that we interchange the subject term and the predicate term, and this is already I proposition. So some non-lesbians are girls. Then O proposition, the last obversion, don't forget that you are interchanging the you are replacing the predicate with its complement and changing the quality. So it's going to become some non-lesbians are not non-girls. As you can see, we are having the same thing. So we say contraposition is generally valid for O proposition. So the points we have been analyzing so far can be summarized as follows. What is immediate inference? Immediate inference is just the process of inferring a particular proposition from another proposition without any intermediate proposition or additional logic rules. And we said there are three different ways of doing that. We have conversion, obversion, and contraposition. What is the good for conversion? Conversion states that you interchange the subject term and the predicate term. However, conversion for a proposition is only valid by limitation, while conversion is generally valid for E proposition, I proposition, and generally invalid for O proposition. What is the good for obversion? Obversion states that you change the quality and replace the predicate with its complement. And obversion is generally valid for both A proposition, E proposition, I proposition, and O proposition. Now, what is the good for contraposition? Contraposition simply states that you substitute the subject term with the complement of the predicate term, and also substitute the predicate term with the complement of the subject term. However, there is another way of doing it using the method of OCO, where you obverse, converse, and obverse again. Contraposition, however, is generally valid for A proposition, valid by limitation for E proposition, generally invalid for I proposition, and generally valid for O proposition. So in our next video, we are going to be talking about standard form categorical propositions that have the same subject term, the same predicate term, differs in quality or quantity, or the both of them at the same time. Thank you for watching.